welcome to the Nourish Spot Hour. I'm Dawn Kelly, and it's Saturday, and I'm happy to be here with you again. It's been a very crazy week, lots of stuff going on in the news, and we're not going to talk about 45 because I just think he gets too much airwaves, but you know, my heart goes out to the families of those who lost loved ones in those mass shootings in Dayton and in El Paso. It's funny, Diana, when I worked at that financial services firm, we did a lot of work in El Paso, so it really, was sad to hear about what happened. But anyway, let's talk about the good stuff. The good stuff is that my friend and unofficial booker, Blaine Jeffries, she's always helping me. She's always helping me find people to bring on to the Nourish Spot Hour and to share their entrepreneurial journeys. And it's funny because Blaine and I have many of the same friends. We run in the same circles. And so today, I have Diana Hilaire. Diana and I have so much in common. We have color in common because I've mentioned to you guys before, before I started the Nourish Spot, I spent the bulk of my career doing PR for a lot of organizations, the last one of which was a major financial services firm that will forever be nameless. So, but through that organization and that work, I got to meet lots of wonderful people, and my relationships are strong, and so one of those wonderful women that I met is Diana. And so Diana, I wanted to bring you on to talk about all the things you got going on, because you got a lot going on.
Oh my gosh.
I believe that your story, your journey, will be instructive for women out here that are trying to balance a full plate like you are.
Lord.
So if I may, I'm going to tell you what I know, and then I'm going to open up the floor to Diana. I'm going to ask her a couple of questions.
Let's see what Dawn knows.
And allow her to answer and tell you guys who she is and what she does and why she does what she does. So Diana, what I know is that you're a mama.
I am.
You got 2 twins.
I got a set of twins.
Yes, a set. Oh, twins. I said twins. Just one and one. Yes. I know that you're a Zeta.
I am a final woman of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated.
Yes, and I know you work in my favorite department.
We're not going to say the name, but
But yeah, I know you work there too.
I do.
So, tell me, sweetie, how do you manage all of these things? Because you have a career, you have children,
I do.
you have a side hustle.
I do.
And I'm sure you got your own little life up in there too. That's just about Diana.
Trying to find that.
And the service that you do engage in through your sorority, Zeta Phi Beta. So tell us.
Oh my gosh.
What should we talk about first?
We can talk about Hilaire Affairs.
Let's do
that's
that.
My new baby.
Is that your t-shirt?
Yes, that's my t-shirt. Hilaire Affairs. Yes.
How did it start?
I've been doing events for quite some time for companies and organizations, and I was just like, I can do this. So why not do it for myself? And what do they say? When you have an idea, put it down on paper, and then from paper it comes reality. And Hilaire Affairs came to life 2 years ago.
Okay.
Little did I know about LLC and getting it, official and things of that nature. So Hilaire Affairs has been around for 2 years, but it's been LLC for 1 year.
Congratulations.
Thank you very
Congratulations.
much. And then so with people like you who are so inspiring as an entrepreneur, now I'm going to be certified to try to get contracts for the city and the state. And hopefully one day just work for Diana.
That's lovely. That's lovely. So tell me why though. Tell me why. What actually inspired you to decide to take a leap of faith to actually step out and create something of your own?
Why not? Why not? If I can do this in my sleep for a corporation, for an organization, I mean, granted, they have a budget and I can go and spend it and do things like that. It's challenging on my end because then you have to get your clients and you got to talk budget, which nobody likes to talk numbers.
Right, nobody likes to talk money.
Yeah, and people have champagne dreams with, wine cooler money.
Yeah.
So sometimes,
Beer money.
Beer. I wouldn't even lower than that.
Yeah, beer money.
But my goal is to try to give people that champagne dream on a budget. So I own a lot of my products. I own a lot of my inventory. Thank God for my sorority sister who allows me to store it at her house, and that's a partnership there. And I'm trying to do it one event at a time. I have something. My sorority sister just booked me for her 50th.
Congratulations.
In February, thank you very much. And I just did a graduation party for my sorority sister.
I saw it.
Yeah,
it was pretty.
So it was, my village is taking care of me, and that's all I could ask for is just check your girl out on Instagram and see what I do, and then if you like me, holla.
Well, that's what I was just getting ready to say. Let's tell the people if they're looking for someone to help them create some type of memorable event, how do they get in touch with you?
On Instagram, it's Hilaire Affairs, HILAIREAFFAIRS. It's the same thing on Instagram, it's the same thing on Facebook. You can find me, I'm not hidden. And that's it.
Is there an email address if they
HilaireAffairs@gmail.com.
There you go.
It don't get any easier than that.
So now let me ask you this. What goes into a proper event? So, I did PR my whole life. And I'm old.
You are not old.
Yeah, that's what y'all think.
You are seasoned.
But anyway, we often had to work hand in hand with the event planner. At that company I worked with, we had this marvelous woman named Patricia Capilano, who, I guess she knew all the florists. She must have knew all the people that balloons.
Yes,
I think she must have had them on speed dial or something like that, because I will never forget, we did an event at a skating rink, a public skating rink in New Jersey, in Newark. And when we first went in, I'm gonna tell you, that place stunk. And it was awful looking. My imagination couldn't fathom how we were gonna turn this thing into something that people were gonna pay thousands of dollars to come to.
And what did she do?
Lord, that place turned into a Japanese cherry blossom theme. It was like we were in a garden. It was beautiful.
I'm sure.
It was beautiful. And I think that one event actually transformed how I thought about events and what events done properly can do for a brand or for an individual. So talk to us about that. Talk to us about, what goes into the planning and the strategy for an event to come off as successful to you and to the client. Because I'm sure the word success means something different to each person.
Yes. Proper planning prevents poor production. Right? So I live by that.
You heard that?
Yes.
Proper planning prevents poor production.
Yes. And you have to have early conversations. So my sorority sister, I'll use her as an example, her party is in February. We are in August.
That's excellent.
So we're talking about, okay, where's the event happening? What's the budget? What do you want? And I'm going to be real honest, some people want to spend thousands of dollars on flowers. And if you have it, cool. But then I can transform that into another way of having you save money and making it look just as nice.
So she's efficient too. You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? You might have a big budget, but she's going to help you save money.
Yeah, like I just can't see somebody for 4 hours spending thousands of dollars on floral and then it goes right in the garbage.
True.
Or people just take it, when we go to galas.
Yeah, they go.
Looking at those floral arrangements.
They be taking the cab and getting way home.
Me too. And another thing that I inserted into Hilaire Affairs is learning how to do floral arrangements.
Okay.
So I took a couple classes in Brooklyn, and I can make specific floral arrangements. I'm not going to try to play myself and tell you I can do beautiful bouquets and swans and things of that nature.
Okay.
But if you want a nice hydrangea, roses, calla lilies, things of that nature, what you see in weddings,
Yeah.
I can do that.
Oh, that's nice. So you actually went and took a class so that you could,
Yes.
so that you could make, so that also tells me something about you and you people that are listening. You have to be able to invest in yourself.
Oh my
So
gosh,
you want
yes.
to be able to make extra money in your side hustle, right? You may not know everything. Just like with me, I didn't know everything when I started the Nourish spot. So I had to go take classes. And that's what I did. And I was happy to go take those classes, you know? But there's a lot of people that think that they can jump in with both feet and they don't have to learn anything. If you want to be successful, you need to do the preparatory work first.
Fire preparation.
Yes, you do.
Yes,
You do.
so, you know, so that's basically it. I studied a lot of event planners out there. There are some really popular ones, and I just see what they do, and, you know, YouTube. Back in the days, we didn't have YouTube.
Right.
Now you can go to YouTube for everything. And so I just check things out. Even some of my floral arrangements, I just Googled how to do it, and YouTube showed me step by step, and you would have never known.
That's lovely. That's lovely.
Yeah, so-
Now, you just mentioned something, so this is going to take me off my question for a second. Are there any like celebrity type special events planners that you would love to like be understudy for or be mentored by? If like say that was a possibility?
I mean, I don't know, it's so messed up and people don't do this. I've never dreamed that big,
Okay.
you know? So thank you for saying that, because maybe I need to go a little bigger and not just keep myself into a intimate 100 people setting. Maybe I need to spread my wings and flourish and go 200, 500 to 1,000.
Well, you know, I am that type of person. Many people will say that I may be a little bit tormentorish, but I would say to you, yes, dream bigger, okay? Because this is just something that was told to me when I was a little younger, that oftentimes we dream these little small dreams, right? That we can actually make happen. But if you are a believer in anything outside of yourself, and I believe in Jesus.
Absolutely.
So if you are a believer, God said you're supposed to believe in like these crazy, spectacular dreams that only He can make come true, right? So I'm gonna double dare you today to just dream bigger, right? And start thinking about those 500 seats. Those 500 seats, and those 1,000 seat events like at the Marriott Marquis or something like that, because that's in your future.
Oh, well, I can say this. I partnered with a well-known organization, and I did floral arrangements for their gala, and it was with Harlem Fashion Row.
Well, that's nice, Brandis.
Yeah, with Brandis. Hey, Brandis. And
I gotta get her on that show.
Yes. I gotta get the great girlfriends.
Yeah.
Great girlfriends on here.
Yeah, I gotta get her.
And her event producer, she gave my name to her event producer, and she called me. And I partnered with New York City Flower Project, and we did all the arrangements for her gala that LeBron James was there for. So it was pretty dope.
I'm sure. I hope you have pictures.
No, to be honest, I lived in the moment.
So you know what? We gotta get Diana a photographer.
I have my friend, hey Rich, all Rich Images. My friend brother Rich takes all my pictures, all my events.
Good.
But for that one, it was just so unbelievable, unreal.
Right.
And I just wanted to take that moment in.
Right.
But I will tell you this much, moving forward, yes. Rich will be right there with me. Rich, capture this. But somebody once told me, if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough.
That's right. That's true. I agree.
So,
and I would tell you, shameless plug, you are watching the Nourish Hour on Caribbean Buzz TV radio. I'm Dawn Kelly, and I'm here with Diana Hilaire. Diana is the CEO of her own special event planning firm called Hilaire Affairs. Diana is also a communicator. She is a member of Colorcom, as am I. And our friend Blaine that's with us today, you just can't see her. So let's talk about that too. Let's talk about Colorcom and how maybe you're able to marry your love for special events with Colorcom. Have you been able to kind of
marry them?
Yeah, marry them or collaborate with the organization in any way yet?
I have not. The opportunity has presented itself many times. I graduated grad school with Lauren. Hey, Lauren. And I was a membership director for the New York chapter. So the audience and the reach was right there, but unfortunately, I didn't believe in myself to reach out to Lauren and say, hey, for the next conference, let me be the event producer.
Oh, okay.
Let me do that. And I've let 6 conferences pass by. This is the 7th or 8th one this year.
I think so. I think the 6th one. Yeah, 6th one, because Hawaii was last year. So
Yeah.
this was the 6th one. Yeah.
So, I've let all these opportunities pass me by, but
Don't say you let them pass you by. If that wasn't the time.
It wasn't the time, right?
Right, it
So
wasn't the time.
I think after this, I need to really dig deep and list what it is that I want to do and who do I want to collaborate with.
Exactly.
And, when I come back on this show, again, we're going to be talking about who these people are, what organizations I've worked with. But yeah,
I love that.
I will get there. I will get there.
I love that. So also, let's talk also about the fact that you are doing a balancing act, right?
Lord, yes. Trying to.
Right, so you living in Brooklyn,
Yes.
working in Manhattan,
Yes.
side hustling all over,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
How do you manage it all?
It takes a village. And I didn't realize that until, through a conversation. And my family allows me to be great.
Are y'all listening?
Yeah, that was told to me recently.
That is,
I hate something.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because many people don't realize just how important it is to have support in order to achieve your goals, no
Yeah.
matter what they are.
Yeah.
And especially us women, who are more often than not the caretakers of the whole family, whether there are grown-ups in the family or not. So, bravo to your family. Seriously.
Yeah, my sister's watching the twins now.
Bravo to your family for allowing you to be great, because you're absolutely right. And I thought about that too. I've had a couple of people in my life, friends, that live in Washington, D.C., where I was cutting my teeth before I came back to New York. If it wasn't for them, I don't know if my career would be where it is, where it went. I don't.
Thank God for the village.
Yes, and I would tell you that every so often when I get 5 cents extra in my pocket, I'm trying to figure out how to thank them for helping me, because I know that I wouldn't be living this life if they hadn't helped back then. So I do remember.
Yes.
I do remember.
Yes.
So what are some of the tactics, some of the strategies that you take in order? Of course you're enlisting the help of your family, but what are some of the other things that you do in order to be able to capably manage all the different parts of your life?
Just take risk. One of my favorite sayings is the greatest risk is not taking one. So just like, all right, let's take an example for this interview. It was just like, am I worthy? Am I worthy to be here, and will people want to hear what I have to say? And I had to get out of my head and really just be. Good. And allow myself to feel and to let people hear my story, whether it affects you or someone else. Somebody might be like, man.
There was one person, it's always one person.
And if it's just one, I'm grateful.
Listen, it's always this one person, and I'm so glad that you were honest enough to say what you just said, because I would tell you the same thing is for me. So I was on the show back in March. The woman outside, Miss Swift, she invited me to be on her program to talk about establishing the Nourish. And I would tell you at first, I was like, me? I ain't gonna hear about that. And so she said, oh, that's what they do. She said, you don't know there's a lot of people out there with dreams, and you actually did something with yours, so could you come talk about it? So I did. I came, I sat right where you're sitting, and I spoke with her and her co-host. And when it was all over, our sound engineer, Nigel, he actually told me, you need your own show. And I said, me? No. I'm behind the scenes.
Right.
I'm a PR person.
Yeah.
What I do is I put other people in front. Right. So no, not me. But I would tell you, I went home and I thought about that. And I think I may have got one more text from Nigel. And I thought about it, and I said to myself, well, why not me?
Amen. Amen.
Right? There are things that I want to share with the world. I have so many friends that are out here doing fabulous things. Like, why not share them with the world?
And if y'all don't know, Dawn's Rolodex is deep. Deep.
And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try. Nothing beats a feeling to try. Right? I'm gonna try.
What's the worst that can happen?
Yes. And the worst that's happened is it become fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy being able to bring people like yourself on the show to share what you're doing with the world in hopes that you will be able to continue it more.
Right.
That what this will do will bring you more business, will bring you more relationships.
Amen.
That's my hope, that together we'll be building more avenues and access for women and young men and women that are watching, that are behind us. So I'm really proud of you.
Oh, thank you. We were talking, do you remember we were talking about before the Nourish spot?
Yes.
Like, you gotta do a launch party and all these things. Like, Dawn and I had been in conversation
for a long time.
And do you know how long we've known each other?
A really long time.
About like 7, 8 years.
I know, a really long time.
You know, so the growth that comes out of this, and now you're not sitting in this chair, you're sitting in that chair. Come on now.
Thank you. And listen, ladies, and gentlemen, the other thing that's really important for me to announce this week today is that I actually tapped up the new permit for my business. We are now in our 3rd year of operation.
Come on,
yes.
3 years?
3 years. I can't believe it.
All right.
I have the first one. It's so funny. We did something new for the first time last week. They had a street fair here in Jamaica, and we participated in it. And I was telling my 2 guests last week, which was Ghana, you know Ghana, Odette Wilson. They used to work for the film festival.
Yes,
She's now with Revolt.
Yes.
Ghana and I went to college together, and her sister Pasham, who owns Mama Auntie's Vegan. That might be good for me. That place you work at. And so they were on the show, and we were just talking about how, you know, you go into these things, her with Mama Auntie's Vegan, you with Hilaire Affairs, me with Nourish, not necessarily primed for it. Like, you know, I wasn't trained to own a store. Like, I didn't take accounting in college. Like, those are not things that are my strong suit. So for this thing to actually be working, it's like, man, listen, I have pinch me moments every day. Every single day. And when I got that new permit that said we were going from 8/1/2019 to 7/31/2020, I may have shed a tear. Because I'm proud.
That's right.
I'm tired, but I'm proud.
And it's yours.
It is.
It is yours.
It is, Diana. And so that brings us back to you and Hilaire Affairs. It's yours.
It is.
And how does that make you feel as a mother of 2 children that will be watching you and everything you do? What does that mean for you?
It's scary because you don't want to disappoint. You know, it's been a long road, and there's been some ebbs and flows, some peaks and valleys, some highs and lows. And I just want my kids to just see mom authentically. You know, flaws and all, because by no means am I perfect. But I want them to see the hard work. I want them to see that the sky is the limit, you know, and beyond that, you know, because the sister brought a man to the moon, so we can go further than that. You know, and I just want them to know that whatever they want to do or accomplish, it can be done. And, you know, to get on that skinny branch, shout out to Momentum Education for putting me and getting me on this skinny branch and allowing myself to feel worthy enough to open Hilaire Affairs and for people to trust in my abilities to make their events, you know, come out the way they want to. And it's scary every time. I've been doing this for a long time for organizations, but when your name is attached to it and my last name is attached to my business name, it's just like I hope I meet expectations or exceed expectations. So I just want my kids to see that mommy is the bomb back home.
That's right. I love that. You're watching the Nourish Spot Hour on Caribbean Buzz Radio. I am Dawn Kelly. The Nourish Spot is a healthy juice and smoothie and salad bar located at 10705 Guy Arbor Boulevard, and we're open now till 7 p.m. You can walk in, or you can contact Uber Eats, DoorDash, Seamless, Postmates, or Grubhub, and they will deliver your food to your doorstep. And if you want to get a head start, call us at 718-526-2099. We will make your offering, your menu offering, and have it ready for you to pick it up. So. Oh, and follow us, please, on Instagram or all social media. Let me say, not just Instagram. Follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook, and follow us on Instagram at The Nourish Spot. That's TheNourishSpot. Thank you very much, and let's go back to talking to Diana. So, Diana, what are some of the big, I guess we're talking about dreams, what are some of the big wants that you have for Hilaire Affairs? Do you have like some dream projects that you would like to work on? Do you give yourself that kind of room to dream like that?
I used to, but unfortunately after I had children, everything shifted a little bit. And for those who, well, no one really knows, but I went through postpartum depression.
Okay.
So a lot of things that I dreamed shift, and I put them to the side, or I didn't think I can accomplish it. So as of today, I definitely started to write a list of what is it that I want and how am I going to get there.
Okay.
And I'm not sure what it is that I want. I'm still trying to battle with myself. Am I that good for a corporation to hire Hilaire Affairs?
You are that good.
All right.
You are that good.
You know what I'm going to do?
And I'm going to give you, again, this is the seasoned lady stuff. But what I want you to do is when you go home today, I want you to write something on a piece of paper or take some lipstick and write on your mirror and say, I am good enough.
I am good enough. Yes.
I have on my mirror in my bathroom written in lipstick, unstoppable.
We need Dawn to post that on her page so we can all see that and get inspired.
Okay.
So please do that.
I will. When I get home today. It's written in gold. I don't know if it's eyebrow pencil or lipstick, but it says hashtag unstoppable on my mirror. Okay? And I would tell you this, in my store, in the Nourish Spot, I have taken the writing on the walls. So I have written on the wall, unstoppable. I have double bundles. I have any word that would inspire us to greatness, that's what I have written down on the wall. And the first song that I play in the Nourish Spot every morning, even my teenagers know, is Corinne Hawthorne's Unstoppable. Okay? So I'm going to double dare you to write that down on your mirror. Because you have to remind yourself. We have to remind ourselves. We have to talk to ourselves, because that negativity that tells us that we're not enough, or we need to learn this or learn that, it's going to always be there, and we have to be courageous enough to shut it down.
That's right.
Yeah. And that's what I try to do every day, so I'm going to tell you to do it.
Well, you don't try, you are doing it.
Listen, I'm trying. You know, it's funny, when people come into the store, that's what they say. They say, oh, Miss Dawn, you're doing so well. And I say, I try. And the reason why I think I say I try is because when you say you try, to me, it puts us all on level footing, right? Because that's what it takes. It takes us to take that one step out of the line. And once you take that one step out of the line and you see that that one step wasn't so bad, then you take another step. And before you know it, you're doing your thing, right? And so that has worked for me, and I see that it's been working for quite a number of entrepreneurs. So that's what I try to do. Let me ask you another question. What about books? Have you read any books that help you
Oh my
in terms of your mindset as an entrepreneur, or about balancing, or about motherhood? Are there any books that you'd like to share?
I wish I knew that in advance so I can write it down and share with you guys, but I'm a part of a bunch of mommy groups,
Okay.
twin groups, and whatever books they throw at us, you know, hey, you should read this and you should read that, or if you're feeling down. And the best book of all is the Bible. I have the app.
There you go.
I have the app on my phone, and I have my village, my family would always send me like a 7-day devotional on motherhood. No one tells you about motherhood. They tell you the fluffy stuff. They tell you how great it is, but no one tells you when that medicine wears off from your C-section and you get home with no doctors, no nurses.
And you can't get up.
And you can't even walk to your car.
Hello? Me.
It's twice. God bless you. That's a rude awakening when you can't pass gas, and because that's a real thing when you have a C-section and you can't do that. That's real. You know, when you can't bend down, when you can't see your toes, when you can't do a crunch. When at one point you was touching your toes and exercising. Your mental shifts.
It does.
Your mental shifts, and no one prepares you. No one tells you, listen, this is what's going to happen.
They don't tell you nothing.
No.
Because and this is not an attack on our mothers.
No.
Or on our grandmothers.
No. Yes.
This is not an attack, but it is true that more education needs to be done in homes between moms and daughters around childbearing and child raising.
More so the emotional,
all of it.
All of it.
I'm talking about all of it.
All of it,
yes. As they would say back in the day, the kit and the caboodle.
Yeah.
Tell the whole story.
The whole story.
Because, like you, I wasn't ready for the operating. I wasn't ready for none of that. Okay, I'll be honest. Like, I wasn't ready when my son, my firstborn, I was in labor 26 hours. Ooh, what is that? Okay, that's first of all, what is that? And then, because I didn't know anything about it, and then when they were telling me about the C-section, of course, luckily my doctor had talked to me about it, but I wasn't quite sure it was going to happen. And then that emergency comes, and they're like, oh, we're going to wheel you in, and they got... That was one of the most craziest times in my life, and I talked about this on another show. I had a doula on the show, my friend Yaz, she's a doula, and I talked about how they almost killed me on that table because they thought they had given me an epidural, and I kept telling them that it didn't work, and they started to cut me, and
did you feel
I was in pain. And so I learned that motherhood, actually carrying a baby to full term, even in 2019, mortality for a black woman is still risky.
Yes.
And you had twins, so I know that had to be frightening.
I mean, I was healthy, thank God, and I made it to 37 weeks.
Okay.
You know, because it was like, you might go early and things of that nature, and literally the day of my doctor's appointment is when things started to unfold. But I was healthy, except I had severe nausea from day 1 to day 10. But it's real. It's really real.
And talk to me too about the postpartum depression, because we talked about this too. I think we talked about this with Blaine's mom. We talked about depression.
I tuned in for that one, for sure.
And then we also talked about the postpartum depression when we had Yas and the other doula on the show with me. Because again, mortality for black children is scary. The numbers are scary. And then also for mothers. Actually not living through the birth is scary. So talk to me about postpartum depression and any of the help that you've received that maybe you can share with some other woman that might be going through that same thing right now.
Number 1, if you feel, acknowledge it and don't deny it. I denied it up until May. And my kids are 19 months. So how many months ago was that? Up until they were about 15 months.
Yeah,
so
it's a long time.
15 months. It was just really, really challenging. And I try to journal, I try to talk to my friends about it, and it helped, but really it starts with you internally. And it's not until recent where I started going to a therapist. So I see someone for my personal reasons, for relationships and things of that nature, but she brought it out of me, like, you know, how you feeling, it's okay.
Right.
You just now gotta get you back into you.
Right.
However that may look. You know, so she gives me homework and things of that nature. But it is really challenging. It's super challenging to look at your kids and be like, whew, if you're a blessing, but why is mommy feeling this way?
Listen, so and truth be told, I didn't necessarily manage or suffer from the postpartum depression because I was mad at their daddy, so I already had somebody to be angry with. But I will tell you, being a single mom, there were times when I became ambivalent about where I was in my life, the position I was in my life. I'm not going to tell any fib. As my mother would say, tell the truth or give the devil a black eye. Okay? It's not easy.
No?
It's not easy raising children in a two-parent household. So managing with one, that can be, you know, heartbreaking. Okay? And here I was, thank God, a sister making a good salary. But it was still challenging because the mental aspect of being responsible for another human being.
Come on, Dawn.
24/7.
And giving the nutrition
For
breastfeeding.
For 21 or 25 years.
Plus.
That's Herculean. That's Herculean. That's like women, we should all, every day, we should all look at ourselves, especially mothers, okay? Especially mothers and aunties. You should look in the mirror every day and pat yourself on the back, okay? Because doing that work, that's God's work, and it really is. Because we are raising the future of America.
Right.
And we see what some of this future is looking like, okay? Okay, some of this future not looking too good, right? So we have to do even work doubly harder to make sure our kids are okay. But I'm going to tell you that, yes, I walked into work one day, and I walked into one of my girlfriend's offices, and I said to her, don't judge me, but I need to get this off my chest. And she said, what's wrong? I said, I'm ambivalent about my children. I said, the life they lead, things that they get to do, I didn't have that life.
Come on, it's real.
I had to tell the truth. Because once I lifted it off me and told the truth, and had somebody just validate the fact that it was okay for me to have those feelings,
Absolutely.
then I could work on being better for myself and for them.
Yep.
Because it was at that moment that I just felt like everything that I did, like just breathing, was for somebody else.
Yep.
It wasn't for me.
Anymore.
And I needed something for me. So, if what Diana and I are talking about today hits home, what we're going to tell you to do is engage in a little self-care. And it's okay. You deserve it. If you're out here taking care of yourself, you know, paying bills, and then you also have the awesome responsibility of taking care of somebody else that's younger than you, that depends on you, give yourself a break. Tell yourself you're doing good. Man, just go outside and walk around in some nature without them for a little while. Because you deserve it.
That's right.
You deserve it.
That's right.
So I got another question for you. And it kind of brings me to the question that I ask all my guests. I don't know how much more time we have today because this conversation is so riveting.
Yes.
And there's a lot of different places that we have taken this conversation, but one thing that I want to get out first before I come back to something else, we'll circle back to something, is how you nourish yourself. Because, you know, we outlined already all the different things that are pulling on you, the responsibilities that you have. So how do you feed your own self? How do you give yourself a woosah moment? What do you do to center yourself?
I'm still learning how to do that. When you mention self-care, it's like, what does that look like? Prior to the kids, if anyone, those who know me, my nails were always done every 2 weeks.
Okay.
My nails were done, my toes was manicured right, my hair, like everything was on point. But after having children, you know, you can go days without doing your nails. You know, your toenails are so long you can climb a tree. Under your feet feel like sawdust. You know, like little things like that. I mean, down to you haven't shaved your underarms and like basic things, y'all. You haven't shaved your underarms in forever, and you know what? And you don't feel like it. Mm-hmm. You know, so I am now 19 months after having my kids, getting back to what is it that Diana likes to do. I'm a part of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. Shout out to my chapter, Delta Beta Zeta in Queens. But I've been removed a little bit from it because of now giving my kids the attention. And that was a fight too, I'm not even gonna lie to you. It was a fight to keep a norm between everything that I gave, everything that I did, and then taking care of home as well. I was like, well, why can't I do both? But you know, it was challenging. Right. So all of that to say is just trying to get back into the swing of things. And I'm still trying to learn what does that look like. You know, so like I put on a good face today.
You look beautiful.
Thank you. So that's helping.
Okay.
I'm finally getting back to what my normal weight used to be. That took a long time. Looking in the mirror used to be very challenging. Oh my gosh. Very challenging, to the point where I used to wear all black. And I didn't think I wore all black to hide anything really, but that's what I told myself. Right. But really and truly, that was the postpartum depression, talking and hiding the imperfections, hiding the extra fupa, as Beyonce would say, right, that you didn't have before. Right. You can't see some parts of your body anymore, right, because of this extra belly hanging. Right. So I'm trying to get back to what that looks like. And being here and having this opportunity is definitely helping me center. So thank you so much. Thank you, Blaine, for helping your sands out. And just having that open conversation. I will say this. There is a phenomenal conference every year called the Mom Friends. Okay. It happens in DC. Shout out to the Mom Friends. And it's all about everything mom. Okay. Everything motherhood. Okay. The highs, the lows, the good, the bad, the ugly, the not being intimate, the intimate, the not, you know, liking your body anymore. I mean, everything you can possibly think about is shared and spoken about at this conference. And it just passed in the summer, but I encourage everyone to Google the Mom Friends. Okay. And attend next year. Oh, that's like my thing now. Really? I had my job sponsored. Oh, that's lovely. Not to the degree of like giving them dollars, but like maybe their VIP bags, okay, or providing coupons. And I'm an advocate to the point where now I would love to give dollars or have other organizations really seek them, because if your employees are good, then they'll be good. That's it. If your moms are good, your moms are good, they're good. You know, exactly. So shout out to them, because after attending the Mom Friends this year, it allowed me to really hone in and be like, what does getting back to Diana looks like? Right. And because it's all what you decide. Right. It's all about what you decide. And it's funny, I'm glad you brought up the whole mom friends and mom organizations. You know, as a seasoned woman, we can have all this stuff. Okay, I'm a little jelly, I tell you. You had the talks in the kitchen. Yeah, we did. We talk about a water cooler at the job, and we walking in and saying they're getting on my nerves. But I think it's great. Like, I think it's great that you all have this type of community where you can get together and talk about stuff like that. Yeah. Because for many, many years, women suffered in silence. I mean, if you didn't talk to your best friend, because I'm trying to think, I'm my mother's oldest child, and I'm trying to think, who does she talk to? The Jehovah's Witnesses that knocked on the door. No, I mean, really.
women suffered.
They didn't say anything.
They just did what they thought they were supposed to do. And a lot of them, I would say women that are mothers of people my age, a lot of them are unhappy.
Oh yeah.
Because they didn't do what we're talking about. They didn't figure out what they wanted. They just focused on their children and their husbands. And now there's a lot of women that didn't fulfill their dreams.
Right.
And I don't want to be that.
Me neither. And I think that's why I'm working really hard to not be that mom 20 years from now, being like, Dad, why didn't I, if, like,
Right.
if I can, thank God again for my village,
Right.
who allows me to be great,
Right.
to allow me to pursue different things. You know, can you watch the kids, and this is what's going on, sure, we got you. So thank God for that, because if that wasn't the case, then I would be stuck in my bubble, working a 9 to 5. Hilaire Affairs probably would, fall by the wayside, and just raising my kids with my dream deferred.
And we all know what happens to a dream deferred, because I love Langston Hughes. He's one of my favorite poets. I'm not sure how much time we have, but thank God.
That's a good time.
Yeah.
A lot can say that about time.
Yes. So I guess I want to talk about a couple of things. Let's talk about some current affairs, okay? So one, what do you think? What do you think, as a mom of a boy and a girl? They really are the future.
Yes.
Okay. What do you think needs to happen in America for life to be different for little brown boys and girls?
Ooh. Number one, to have a really solid relationship with their mother and father, and have a strong foundation. I didn't have my father growing up. Nobody really had their father growing up in my family. And so to have my kids and their dad there, I want them to be able to come to us for everything. Good, bad, ugly, whatever it is. Because I can talk to my mom about, well, I like this boy, or I feel this pain in my stomach, or whatever the case may be. It's just like, here's a pad, this is what you do with it, keep it moving. There's no discussion. And I want to be able to have an open dialogue with the kids and say, this is what's going on, this is what you need to do. I was watching Netflix last night about the exonerated 5, because we're not saying something about it. The exonerated 5, and what does life look like now for them? And what they have to do, and we need to just talk to our kids and be like, watch what you do, watch what you say, watch how you move, watch how you dress.
All of it.
I think number one is having a solid foundation, and open dialogue with the most important people around you.
Okay. My next question to you is for women out there that are watching and that are suffering postpartum depression. What are 3 things that you would advise them to do?
Don't hold it in. Speak to someone immediately. I went to my doctor's appointment, and that was one of the questions, and I clearly looked her in the face and said, no, I'm fine. And everything in my gut was saying, no, you're not. And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And they asked me a question, because then I was thinking, are they going to take the kids away from me? Or I started going left when they asked that question, instead of thinking, well, maybe they can provide someone for me to talk to. And I didn't think about it that way. So number one, if that question comes up, admit to it that you have this. Number 2, journal. Get these thoughts out of your head, away from your heart and on paper. And number 3, if you are in a relationship, if you're married, whatever the relationship is with your partner, definitely share that with your partner, because it will make things a little bit easier, and not make things so catastrophic in your relationship. If you're feeling a certain way, let your partner know so he or she can know how to navigate and help you. Because when you suffer in silence, it's a domino effect. It affects him, it affects you, it affects the household.
That's the babies.
And the kids, because they feel it.
Yeah, they start to cry.
Yeah. My daughter, I was feeling a certain way, and my daughter just tucked under me and just laid on me. And I was just like,
They know.
oh my gosh. We call her Shady McGrady because she be throwing shade all the time. But she literally came under me and just laid her her head on me, and I was just like, wow.
Yeah, they know.
Do you feel mommy's pain?
Yes.
You know? Those are my top 3.
They do feel our pain, and I would tell you this, the best thing that I have ever felt is one day I came home from work. My kids were probably about 7, 8, about 6 or 7, because they're about 18 months apart. And it was a really bad day. Like, I had a really, really bad day. And usually when I would have those bad days, I would just come in the house, I would say hello, and I would go straight to my room and close the door, just to get myself together, right? Because I didn't want to take it out on them. But this day, they just pulling on me, and I couldn't get to my room. And in my head, I was screaming, just let me call. And my kids wouldn't let me go. And they pulled me so hard that I had to sit down on the couch.
That's right.
What they did was they actually, both of them put their arms around me and was like kissing me and telling me that they love me, because yes, they could feel what I wouldn't show. They could feel it. So the unconditional love that children have for their parents, that's a love that I never want to lose.
Yeah.
That is like it's almost like magnetic.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so while I might have been ambivalent about the life that I was able to give them, I'm so greatly grateful to have them to love me.
That's right.
Yeah.
Unconditional.
Yes, I'm glad that they love me. And it's funny now that they're grown-ups, right? The way they showcase their love is different than when they're little and all they can do is hugs and kisses. Now when my son or my daughter stand up for me, or they tell me to take a seat so they can do something, that shows me that they love me, and I'm grateful for that.
And that's their love language.
Yes.
How they show it. So
Yes, I love that. So now my last question to you, I think, is going to be about Hilaire Affairs and what's next. But before you tell me, I want you to one more time tell my listeners and my viewers how they should get in touch with you, Diana, at Hilaire Affairs, if they want to contract your services. Okay? And you should also tell them, how early they should get in contact with you. So if they want to do a party tomorrow, they shouldn't be called today. If they want to do something in December, you need to hear from them like by September,
So that next on Instagram, you can reach me at Hilaire Affairs, just Hilaire Affairs on Instagram. On Facebook, Hilaire Affairs as well. I have a website also, even though people don't really go to websites, but they just go to Instagram, HilaireAffairs.com. Like, it don't get any easier than...
your own website?
Oh, and let me tell you something. Thank God for the Blooming Life family. Shout out to my frat brother Maurice, who did my logo, did my website, and just walked me through starting Hilaire
What's the name
Affairs.
of Maurice's company? Tell her.
Oh man, Mo, don't kill me.
It's okay,
It's all right. Just everybody who knows Maurice from the Brooklyn Sigma chapter, just reach out to Mo for your web pages. He's also a photographer. He's just like a jack of many trades. Super dope.
Wonderful.
But yeah, follow me on Instagram and Facebook. And if you have an event coming up, I don't want to say I specialize because I don't want to keep myself in a box, but I love doing intimate events. I can really hone it and make it look gorgeous and special and things of that nature. But if you have a 500 plus event that you want me to do as well, I am not going to decline that, provided the budget is where it needs to be.
And yes, budget is necessary. I need to say that, not just for Diana, but I need to say that for me as well. Listen, people, get them going. We want to help you, we really do. And we can help you. But you have to be reasonable. And I'm going to talk to our friends out there too. Yes, we like to help you too. And yes, we like to give you advice every once in a while. But just like you want to get paid, we need to get paid too.
That's right.
Okay? So with that, I want to say thank you very much, Diana.
Thank you, Tom.
For coming to spend time with me. She answered the question about how she nourished herself. But I'm gonna ask her, how do you nourish your babies? There we go. There we go, and I'm not talking about food. What are the things that you do to engage them, to get them thinking, to get them, moving and being creative? What are some of the things you're doing with the babies?
I have a fabulous nanny who is my god sister, who at one point in her life worked at a daycare.
Okay.
And she took all those skills and talents and transferred them into my kids.
Wow.
My kids are 19 months old.
Their names?
Oh, Zoe and Adir.
Okay.
They're 19 months old. They know their alphabets. They know their colors. They know their shapes. They know their names.
Wow.
They're learning how to spell their names. They're having conversations with you. You talk to them, they get it.
Wow.
And that's, we do flashcards. I would see parents do flashcards with their kid. My kids, we have about 6, 7 flashcards that they're just bored with because they just surpassed that.
That's good.
If we ask them what's W, they'll say walrus.
That's good.
Or ostrich, or you know what I'm saying?
That's really good.
And when they say A, they would say Nadir. And when they say Z, Zoe would say Zoe.
And
That's right.
and very matter of fact too.
Right. But now I'm gonna tell them when she says Z, it's gonna be Zeta. And when they say A, it'll be Alpha.
Okay, I got it.
But yeah, just putting as much into your kids as much as possible, educating them, getting them around other children. That social connection is important.
It's true.
Invest in them. Put them in swimming classes. Put them in. I'm trying to get into other organizations that I can afford later on in life. But right now, I'm just trying to save my coinage.
Right.
But yeah, just flashcards, time, play with them, sing to them, let them sing to you.
Yes.
Put the phone down sometimes and just engage with them.
Yes.
And that's how I nourish my kids.
Well, I think that's wonderful, and I will tell you this, when my kids were little, I did many of the same things that you did, and I want to say this about yours. So Jade, she was very precocious. She was very fast, okay? And so when I would walk her brother to school, she would come along with us, okay? And her vocabulary was so pronounced that she would be in conversations with the principal. Do you know that she went to school a whole year early because the principal said to me, we're gonna just she's not going to pre-K, we're gonna put her right in kindergarten because of her vocabulary and the teachings that we were giving her in the house. So that might be an opportunity for your children, and you keep going. They may, go a little faster and farther than you may have thought that they would. So with that, I want to say thank you very much, Diana.
Thank you,
I want to tell you publicly, you are enough. Matter of fact, you are more than enough.
Thank you, Dawn.
And I'm so glad to know you.
Likewise.
It's been a wonderful 7, 8 years of knowing you.
Oh my gosh. Thank God for ColorCon.
Yes, I look forward to watching Zoe and Adir grow up to be wonderful human beings.
Yes.
And ladies and gentlemen, I look forward to seeing you again here at the Nourish Spot Hour next week. But until then, please, you are what you put into yourself. So make sure it's something good, and come on visit us at the Nourish Spot.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Yes.